Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done to educate consumers, grow their businesses, and to leave a legacy. I'm doing a series of spotlights on remarkable advisors from across the country. And joining me on this segment is Douglas Aze. He's the founder of Largo Financial Services. Douglas, welcome to the program.
Thank you. How you doing? Good
I'm
morning.
doing well. Thank you. Great to have you here. Douglas, tell us a little bit about your work and specifically, who are the types of folks that you specialize in helping?
Yes, so I own a financial service firm. I've been in the industry for over 20 years. I started when I was 24 years old when I got into this industry. So when I first started, I wanted to focus on just helping families and help them retire well and also have a great future for retirement. So one time I realized was people were in so much debt and they didn't have a way forward and they couldn't save for retirement. So what I decided to do was kind of change the way I did business. And I started researching wealthy families just to see how the wealthy families operate and what they do differently from everybody else, how they're able to actually take their wealth and quadruple it and keep it for generations to come. So with that research, I actually wrote a book called Creating Generational Wealth, what the super wealthy know that you need to know. And then we changed our practice. And what I started doing was helping families find money in places that they're throwing money away unknowingly because they don't know they're doing it, and unnecessarily. I could help them fix it. And we found a lot of number of places that people actually throw money away, like the way they pay their mortgage, the way they pay taxes, because that's a big chunk of wealth transfer, the way they make major capital purchase. And believe it or not, even their retirement plan at work, the 401ks and those accounts, there's a lot of wealth that's being transferred away and people don't know they're doing that. And the way they even save for their children's college. So I started narrowing down those 5 steps, and I realized, man, we need to educate a whole lot. And it changed my business. And now we're able to work with not just families, but also business owners, helping them protect what they worked hard for, protect their asset, grow their asset, and then pass it on to the next generation.
Wow, you've got me really intrigued now. Can you kind of give us a sort of a high level view of the differences as you've studied these wealthy folks? What are they doing that normal everyday families can learn from?
Yes. Well, one thing that I've found that wealthy families do is they like using other people's money. So one of the first things that I realized is using life insurance. Life insurance was a vehicle that a lot of people don't understand. Most people think it's for death. But when I started digging more into it, I realized you're using a penny to buy a dollar. How many will you buy? So, and life insurance is the only financial vehicle that if something happens like that, right, nothing goes to probate court. All the money goes to wherever you want the money to go to. But other than the debt part, wealthy families use it to leverage their money. What do I mean by that? What that means is they pack their money inside the life insurance instead of having it in a savings account at the local bank. See, most of us have been brainwashed, right, with the media. Go to the bank and put money, put your emergency money at the bank. So if there's an emergency, but when I give a bank a dollar, the bank has an agreement with the government that for every dollar I give to a bank, the bank has every right to take my dollar, and guess what they do with it? They could loan it to 7 to 10 different people. $1, they'll loan it to you at a 5% interest, loan it to somebody at a 10% interest. The bank is making over close to 35% interest on my dollar. So the wealthy understand that concept and say, okay, the banks don't print money, they use other people's money. The government, for every dollar you earn, would take 40 cents of your dollar for every dollar. People are like, how do they do that? Well, think about it. They take a percentage of your paycheck, then they take a percentage again when you go to the grocery store. Then they take a percentage again when you pay your mortgage. By the time you know it, your money, some people are paying between 40 to 50% in taxes. So again, the government using other people's money. And then the media comes to you and they target the advertisement because the bank already told them how much you have in your bank account. And the government already told the media how much money you're making. So they target you and say, hey, do you want to go on vacation in Jamaica? So by the time you know it, you spend all this money that you earn giving it away to all these people. So I show you a different way of thinking and using other people's money to still accomplish those things while your money continues to grow.
Fascinating insights. Douglas, how about this pandemic? Has this changed anything in regards to strategy, advice, or is it just a change in attitude? What have you heard?
Yes. So what I've seen now with the pandemic is first it's shown people that you cannot keep being traditional and doing the same thing that you're used to doing in the past. You need to be willing to change the way you do business, the way you live and everything. So example, many people are no longer going to work at a brick and mortar. So if you open up an office, a brick and mortar office today, while the consumer that will come shop at your store are no longer going to the store. They're scared of going to the store because like, I don't want to catch COVID. People are doing what? They're online shopping. So don't it make sense for you to change your business model and start looking at ways to do business online? You know, I've made more money just sitting on Zoom talking to customers more so than having them come into my office. Now, don't get me wrong, I still have an office that I'm like, I keep asking myself, why do I have this office? Nobody's coming into the office anymore. Everybody's Zoom. Clients don't want to come see you at the office. They want to walk off of Zoom. Before in the past, we believed in the face-to-face meeting. So when it comes to money, people are spending more money. So what I start teaching customers, I say, okay, you got to look at your cash, because when you spend cash, because that's another thing we've been taught, right? Pay cash, don't get credit card, don't do that. Sounds good until you realize that, man, I have no credit. And this is America. America is a credit country. You know, everybody lives off credit, right? So my teaching to people is this: when you pay cash, if that's what you choose to do, then, you know, that's fine, that's your, but look at it as self-financing. Because when you pay cash, you self-finance. So that means you just took a loan from your future person. So your future person, if you're 30 years old today, your future 40-year-old is saying, okay, you just took a loan of $100,000 or $10,000 from me that I'm going to be expecting in the future based on opportunity cost and the compounding growth of that money. Maybe in 10 years, it would have grown to $15,000. But you just took it right now and spent it today. Are you going to pay me back? Now, because we as human beings, we've been programmed to say, well, I pay cash, I don't owe anybody. What do? We don't pay ourselves back. So what I teach is when you pay cash, treat it as if you borrowed the money from a bank, and then go to your traditional bank, your whichever bank you bank with, and say, okay, and they have all the tools on their website, and say, okay, if I had taken a loan for $10,000 from ABC Bank, how much interest would they have charged me? If the bank says, okay, for a 5-year loan, 60 months, would have charged you 5% interest rate. Then take a calculator and work out the numbers and say, okay, that means I would have paid them back $200 every month for the next 5 years. Then guess what you start doing? Start paying that back to your future person. Even if you put that under your mattress, we're not educating you to do that. But if you did that, in 5 years, you're going to have your $10,000 back, plus the interest you would have paid to the bank. Now your future person will be so excited instead of the other way around, meaning you stole from your future person by not paying them back.
Wow, that is a motivating mindset shift. I could
Yes.
see that getting really addictive. So Douglas, tell me, you told me a little bit about, you know, how you got started and you started studying the wealthy. What really got you, you know, fascinated and even being in this field? What inspired you to help others with this? How did you get started?
Man, it's so my dad, you know, I'm from West Africa, Nigeria. I left when I was 18 years old, right after high school. And I moved to Canada. And then from Canada, I came into the United States of America, you know, after 5 years. And I was waiting table at IHOP. and somebody gave me their business card. And I went for the interview, and I sat down with the lady and everything, and they showed me what they did. I was like, wow, you could make this kind of money. So I got involved. I said, okay, for the money part. But then when I continued in the industry and started getting educated about finance, which I never got taught at home in Africa, even though my dad owned a business, he was an entrepreneur, owned a bunch of tractor trailer companies. So I'm like, but when he passed away, he didn't leave no money. He left a lot of debt, right? I mean, so I was like, wait a minute. If I brought my dad to America with the same amount of wealth that he had when he was building his business and all the stuff, and I put him here, and we compared him to another family that's wealthy here, and they're the same level, this other family, when they both died, right? This other family scaled. We nothing. How did they do it? So that I could learn how they do it. And when you look at these families like the Rockefellers, Johnson & Johnson, Disney, Walt Disney, I'm like, wait a minute, how did they do it? So that got me motivated to start learning their concepts so I could teach other people.
Fascinating. Really interesting. Douglas, for folks listening that you've got intrigued, how do they connect with you if they want to speak with you? How do they find you, connect with you, and learn more?
So thank God for social media today. I'm all social media platform. I'm YouTube and tons of videos on YouTube to educate you. I'm on Instagram on I am Douglas Eze. You can find me there. Lago Financial also on Instagram, Lago Financial 1. You can find me there, or you can go to my company website, lagofinancialservices.com, or you can order my book, Creating Generational Wealth. It's on Amazon, it's on iTunes, it's on all the Audible. You could get it there and start reading, because what I taught in the book is how you could build up and pass the wealth on.
This has been terrific. Douglas, I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing with my audience today, and I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for the opportunity.
That was Douglas Eze, the founder of Largo Financial Services. And this segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done to educate consumers, grow their practices, and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining me.